The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. We are but a week and a day away from Thanksgiving, and tonight I'm going to Mississippi. No, I've never been to that state before. I have a gentleman here. He's a YouTuber, a podcaster. He does a lot of stuff. He has a twang like right out of the Bible Belt. We've been going to those states lately. It's been a great run. But before we get to him, we've got to read these incredible underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So we have Eli's Auto Care in Taunton. We have Lynch's Towing, Auto, Cycle, and Truck Center in Brockton. One number for towing, one number for projects. My pal Lynchy there in Brockton is always looking for new scrap metal, wheels, anything to do with transportation. He handles it all. We have One Good Credit in Brockton. We have Sweezy Fence Erectors in Whitman. We have Auto Town, Auto Glass, and Auto Body in Abington. We have Used Car Annex in Rockland. Don't get abused. Shop Kevin McGee Used. For a story, go to the library. For real wholesale prices, call Kevin McGee. We have Easton Fitness in the Village Shops in Northeastern. We have RW Carpet and Flooring in Norton, covering floors for 50 years. We have Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We have Doggy Boutique, all breed professional grooming for dogs and cats, run by my great next door neighbor, Debbie Siddell in Brockton. We have the Gunrunner LLC, the Second Amendment Freedom Store in Middleborough. We have the Rug Resort here in Northeastern, cleaning today for a healthier tomorrow. And we have Joe's Diner in Taunton. And I want to thank you guys very much. And now I'm going to introduce Mr. Jake. What's the last name again?
Hudson or
Jake?
Hudson.
Hudson or Hudson? Okay, I'm glad I held it. I'm glad I held it up for a vote, because if I got it wrong, I could have had an option to correct it with a different spelling, and that sounds great.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? How's everyone doing today? I know that this is actually my first time on public access, so
Okay.
I'm a little nervous.
Don't be nervous. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. But well, you just told me you were a podcaster, though. I mean, you have your own show, don't you?
I have my own show on YouTube. I have my own channel, Jake Hudson. Basically, I've gotten to interview a lot of people, including Stuttering John Melendez, Casey
Wow.
Armstrong, even Double Storian has been on my show before.
Okay, he's the British guy. He's the guy I interviewed last night. Was given to me by sent my way through him in Alabama. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Sit back a little bit, because you're cutting the top of your head off. You got a fine cap there, man. You want to show it. You got a fine dome there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
well, so you live in the town of Waynesboro, Mississippi, right?
Waynesboro, Mississippi. I'm born and raised in a small town in Mississippi, Waynesboro. And
Okay.
I've also, podcast. The reason I started podcasting was because my father passed away. My father passed away in 2020 because of liver failure.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because of alcohol. And I just needed something to get my mind off of it. And we were going through that thing that we can't talk about in 2020. We can't talk about that.
Okay, we won't talk about that. I understand.
I'm talking about the zombie thing.
Oh, okay. Well,
no, all of views and opinions are my own and not Harrison Young or his podcast.
Okay, right. Okay, that's fine. Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
I do, and whatever your opinion is, you're entitled to it, and I don't. The one thing I never do on my show is create friction with anybody. I mean, I want everyone to.
I'm not trying to.
No.
I wasn't trying to do any friction. I was just trying.
No, not you.
I wasn't trying. I was trying to escape through, because I know if we put this on YouTube and we say that word, that word, we could get demonetized or get censored for it.
That's okay. Okay, we don't need to do that. All right. Well, tell me about growing up. You grew up in the town. You grew up in that area.
Small town, yeah. I grew up in the same small town I live in. I grew up with my dad was a drug driver. My mom worked in an office, and I also have autism.
Me too.
And Asperger's.
Me too, dude. Okay.
Um,
Well, I
and
mean,
also I live.
all right. All right. All right, tell me about, you grew up in that town, and what did you aspire to as a kid?
I was basically I wanted to be in radio.
Okay.
I wanted to be in radio. But but now I realize that radio is dead.
Okay.
There's not there's not a lot of radio stuff happening. A lot of them are streaming on like Twitch or YouTube now.
Okay. And well, the good thing is that you probably have a lot more listeners on YouTube too. I mean, there's so many thousands of
Uh,
people all over the world can get YouTube, and
yeah,
you can. I mean, it's better than back about 50 years ago. They had ham radio. This is even better than that. And I considered getting a ham
yeah.
radio license when I was a kid,
Um,
but who
yeah,
needs it when you don't when you're doing this? This is way better. All right. Well,
yeah.
so tell me about the stuff you put on YouTube. What's that like?
I basically do live streams through a thing called StreamYard. If you know what StreamYard is,
Uh,
I also do a lot of like in real life stuff like unboxings and updates about the lot, and also I give a lot of support. I am a channel that supports a lot of channels, a lot of small channels, and I might have 1,000 subs, but I have I have a big community. I got a prefix of saying this. I had to rebuild my channel earlier this year
Okay.
because of some hacker hacked my stuff and hacked my StreamYard and started playing some very inappropriate stuff
Okay.
and got
Wow.
my I had to rebuild my stuff.
Okay.
And it took me 6 years, it took me 6 to 7 years to build all my stuff up. It took me about 5 months to rebuild everything.
Wow.
And and I want to say that thank God I got a good community and good people behind me, and and we always thank the Lord every day that we're on earth because that's we don't know when we're leaving this earth, and I'm sorry
Don't
saying
tell me
that.
about it. I know exactly that's true. I think about that all the time. And I'm very grateful that I'm here because if not, what else? It gives us the opportunity to at least be creative, and that's what
Um,
the man upstairs wants to be creative. I feel that's the case. I mean,
I saw the Carl interview, by the way. I love the Carl interview you did from Who Are These Podcasts.
thank you. I know he was. And by the way, the profile that those guys did on me now has over 12,000 views last year. Just
Whoa,
yeah.
yeah. And the thing is, was that your first episode they profiled?
A little bit, yes. That little. I remember uttering my very first 13 words. I call them my lucky first 13 words of topic time on Wednesday, August 18th, 2010, when I began the show in the town of Marshfield, Mass. I said, "Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Topic Time. This is a new show of miscellaneous topics." And I didn't know where I was going with it either. I had no audience. I had an audience. I had a live audience, but I had no guests. I had no suit. I was just trying to fill up an hour with conversation, hoping people would call in and talk about the news with me. And the only call I got was the guy that had brought me into the TV station a year earlier, Joe O'Neill, who had a sports show that he invited me to be his co-host on. And eventually, he sort of threw me off his crew. He was a good guy, but kind of temperamental. But for the next year, I debated with myself, maybe I can start my own show. And then I finally something lit a fire under me, and I finally decided to do it and called in the people that ran the station there said, "Come on down, we get an opening at 5 o'clock." And I did, and next thing I know, he's calling in, but he didn't know that he was calling. He didn't know I was starting my own show. He thought he was calling the office because they only had one phone number for the whole TV station. So that's
Yeah,
how it began. Humble beginning, but not anymore. Obviously,
yeah.
that 13 years
You,
later.
you want to hear my humble beginnings?
Sure, here
When
you
I
hear.
when I was started streaming,
Yeah.
I remember I was this was when back in 2017 I was having to use Google Hangouts just to do call-ins on
Okay.
people's shows. Google, you know what Google Hangouts is, right?
Well, not
It's
really, but I know Google is.
yeah,
I know it's got to be some kind of a social media thing, right?
yeah. It's basically basically it's a platform. Now it's now a default platform where people can do live streaming on.
Okay.
When I say defunct means they got rid of it for another program, but but I also want to say I love StreamYard. StreamYard is one of the best.
Okay.
One of the best. It's easy to use, and even someone like myself that is not like tech savvy could run StreamYard.
Well, are you running the show yourself that you're doing with me now?
No,
Or
I'm
you?
not doing. I'm not live streaming.
No, I
I'm not
know, but
streaming.
I mean, is somebody else? Are you somebody running the board for you, or are you doing this all by yourself? Right?
I do it by myself. I do all of my stuff. I used to have a producer, but I should have said this before, but I'm a little bit bipolar, and I get tendency to go crazy on co-host.
Okay. Well, but what I'm saying to you is you must be tech savvy if you can do this yourself. I couldn't really do this myself at this point.
Yeah,
That's why I'm very lucky to have the people at my TV stations to take care of the tech stuff because I couldn't
yeah.
do it.
By the way, shout out to your TV station.
Oh yeah, they're all great people there. They're my second family, maybe even my first. Well, tell me.
I've been telling people about ECAT.
Oh, yeah, good. Well, good. Well, they're very happy. You know, up here. Have you ever been up here before to New England?
I have never been to the East Coast. Want to come to the East Coast.
Oh, you
Wanted
should.
to.
Well, someday you will. I mean, in the meantime. So tell me about some of the people you've interviewed. You were starting to tell me, and I know I kind of interrupted you, but go ahead. Tell me.
I got to interview Stuttering John.
You've interviewed Stuttering
Uh,
John. Wow.
Casey Armstrong.
Okay.
I got to have Bob Levy on my show. Gino Pisconti. I've had uh who's I've had Shuli Egar from the Shuli Network and Howard Stern on my show
Okay.
before.
Wow.
I've had I've also had Frankie McDonald on my show. If you don't know who Frankie is, do you know who Frankie? Frankie, the world's greatest weatherman, or Canada's greatest weatherman.
Okay.
I've also had from Lucha Underground. I've had Marty the Moth Martinez, Marty Casals.
Okay.
That was a long time ago, but that was one of my first rooms when I started. And also, I've had people from I've had radio guys on here like Jason Marshall. I've had also my good friend from TK Classic Rock out in Syracuse. I've had my good friend Gomez Adams.
Okay. Gomez Adams. Wow. Okay. Well, having Stuttering John on, that's a pretty big deal from the former Howard Stern show.
Yeah, and he was on several of my shows, and then he got his butt hurt about something and blocked me on Twitter again.
Yeah, I've sort of heard that about him. He seems to be going through some kind of I mean, he has issues with some people. I heard. I don't know anything about it. I don't know. I mean, I would love to interview him myself because I mean, he's got quite a history, obviously.
He will charge you $1,000. So
yeah, exactly. And right. Anyone that won't charge me any money is better than someone that will. You know, I mean, obviously that's. So you made my point for me. Okay. Well, how often how many times a week do you do your podcast now?
I do it whenever I want to.
Okay, so just
whenever I feel like hitting go live on StreamYard and setting up a stream and going live. Also, I do other podcasts. I do other co-host. I'm producer for a show out in not Minnesota, in Michigan.
Okay.
P.S. Area Jane. I'm also working with a lady out in New York. I'm working with Kate Meany, who is Kevin Meany's daughter.
Oh, I remember him. Wow, he passed away, but what a funny comedian he was.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm working with his daughter. I'm working with Kevin Meany's daughter, and also, how are we getting on time, Tech Guy?
What's that?
Are we good on time?
Oh, we're perfect on time. Go ahead, keep talking.
All right. Just I don't want to start something and then get interrupted by the tech guy saying, "Hey, we've got 5 minutes to go." So
don't worry, you got, believe me, plenty of time. So keep telling me. All right. So
all right, thank you. I just also want to say that this show's actually been good. I actually I'm very grateful for everything I've gotten, and thank you to Dabble Story for getting this book.
Yeah, exactly.
I was a little nervous texting you because of the number. I get scared like texting numbers that I don't know.
Okay.
It's to the point where I have to be respectful to people, and now you guys have my email now.
Yeah, we do. Well, now that, but that's why we have, because to set the Zoom up, we needed the email.
Yeah, no.
It
I
worked.
I, I said that's listen, you're talking to somebody that has to find people's emails on a daily basis just to send them emails with the StreamYard links and the links to come on because they don't use Twitter or Facebook or and sometimes they might only have MySpace. Do
Well,
you
you did it.
remember MySpace?
I do remember MySpace, and I was never on it. I started Facebook in 2011, right after I started Topic Time, and that's when I started reaching out to the world to get guests, basically. And
Yeah, all right.
what a run it's been with that.
Um,
Do you have wife and kids or anything like that, or?
I am single. I do have a roommate. I live with my niece,
Okay.
who is 7 years older than I am,
Huh,
and
that's interesting.
and
Okay.
she's the one that keeps me from going insane.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
okay. Well, right now you seem very balanced. So and
yeah,
I'm very impressed.
and this is me after me taking a little bit of a nap before the show.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
Uh,
good.
I,
You gotta rest up.
there's the, I also want to say that we're not promised tomorrow.
That's
We're
true.
not we're not promised tomorrow. We live for today. It's like I see people that say, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow." Do it today.
Do it
Because tomorrow
now.
ain't
Live
given.
in the moment. Right. Exactly. I agree with that. Totally.
Yeah, and I know that it's showing my religious stuff. I am very I come from a Christian family.
Okay.
On my Facebook, you'll never see me cuss because my family is very religious,
Okay. Good.
and
Okay.
and I try not to cuss in front of my family. But the thing is, what do you think about Stuttering John canceling his show at Rochester March 10th?
Canceling it. Well, why did he cancel it? Did he say
Because
why?
he's afraid of Carl and Vinny.
Okay. Well, if he felt
They
uncomfortable,
probably know
I
he
know
just
Colin Vinny. If he felt uncomfortable, then he probably did the right thing. If they felt if they were gonna
yeah,
tease him or whatever, isn't that what it is?
yeah. They always here's the thing, they were threatened to come there to the show and heckle him all the time.
Okay.
Heckle him during the show. And the thing is, now that they're still gonna do, they're thinking about doing something. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just changing positions here.
Yeah. I just want to say that any day that we're top side of the earth, we're always good. Top side
Exactly.
of the earth. Yeah. But I also want to say that I've also been on other people's shows. I've been on Opie and Anthony,
Wow.
Bubba Sponge. No, I've been on Opie from Opie and Anthony.
Okay. Yeah,
He,
they split
he
up. Hey, they're not together anymore, right?
They're not. I've been on Bubba the Love Sponge. I've been on the Corporate Time with Tom and Dan or the Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I've been on other shows. I've also had Ed Till on my show from Orlando.
Okay.
Ed Till he was from Chicago. He was also there. I think he said he was there for like when 9/11 hit.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That was
Um,
something.
where were you when 9/11 hit?
I was in my basement doing my exercising, and I heard on the radio that some plane had hit the Twin Towers, but I didn't know, but nobody knew right then that it was terrorism until I went upstairs and turned the TV on, and then we saw it.
Yeah, all the major news stations play on one of the like all the major news stations played it, and on like the ninth year anniversary of it, my teacher in high school played the because I was 8 years old at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
When 9/11 here, so at not the 9 year mark, they played I think 9 year or 8 year mark. They played. My teacher went online and found old video of the Trade Center collapsing.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It was a tough day for everybody.
You know what? And thank our lucky stars that we live in a world today that is a good place.
Absolutely. I know. Yeah, I
You,
know.
you know,
I count my blessings every day. So you must be 30 now, right?
30 years old. I was born in '93.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you tell me your date of birth, I'll tell you what I did the day you were born and what day of the week it was. That's kind of
It
what
was it was 7/28.
July. Oh, yeah, July 28th. Let's see, July 28th was a Tuesday. I'm sorry, it was a Wednesday.
Uh, eh, all right. Is it almost the 30-minute mark yet?
Um, let's see. Well, about halfway through. We've got
Halfway
plenty of
through.
time.
All right, we started a little bit late because you guys, I had to resend you my email.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, because they had a show here that went a little long. That's okay.
All right,
I mean, so what do you do? So, I mean, are you what do you do for fun down there? Do you play music?
I play music. I also watch a lot of videos, including Topic Time with Harrison Young.
Oh well, you can't get better than that.
I've watched a little bit here on ECAT and also on your other stations.
Yeah, Area
On your other
58.
station,
I have two other
Area
stations.
50.
I have Area 58 in Carver, Mass, and WCTV in Wareham, Mass. Those are my three stations right now.
I
And
only
those,
one I knew about was ECAT in area 58 or 54.
it's
I
58 because the TV station there is on Route 58 in the town of Carver, Mass. It's a very nice area. So is this area.
are we allowed to talk about your other stations while you're on air?
Yeah, there's no problem. Why not? That's what topic time is. There's no limit to what we can talk about, and there's no time. And time is an ever present force, and that it's with us
Yeah.
everywhere. So topic
Um,
time is the combination of the two.
you know what I when I think of like the one of the I used to watch a lot of like Dan Patrick. You know who Dan
Okay.
Patrick is?
Yeah, the sports guy, right?
He yeah
Okay.
that's Connecticut.
Right. That's not
He
too
lives in
far from here.
Connecticut.
That's only about 80 miles from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
What
good.
you want to hear? Sorry if I'm like interrupting you so much.
No, it's okay. You're not interrupting me. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, one of my favorite lines of Stuart. I'm a big Stuart Scott fan, and one
Okay.
of my favorite lines of his is, "When you die of cancer, cancer didn't beat you. You beat cancer for how you fought."
Okay. It's Stuart
That was
Scott.
his.
it's-
Stuart Scott actually passed away in 2015.
Okay. I'm not really sure who he was. What did he do? Was he a writer?
He was a ESPN. He was parts of Sports Night. He was part of Sports
Okay.
Center. He was also he was one of the lead commentators for NFL and stuff. And when he died, a lot of the people were were very unhappy at shows.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they
yeah.
were
So you're a big sports fan, I guess, right?
I was a big ESPN fan. I was watching a lot of ESPN Classic, and now
Yeah.
it's ESPN
Well, I love the
SC,
ESPN Classic.
and now it's defunct because now it's ESPN SEC.
Well, they always used to show they used to show sporting events from past years, and I've always enjoyed that. But
Yeah,
the great thing about YouTube is that you can still see a lot of those games like that on YouTube,
yeah.
like classic games.
Also, I watched a lot of the wrestling on there too because they used to have AWA, UWF, and all that.
Okay. Did you put, are you athletic? Did you play sports in school
I'm not athletic. I'm a little unhealthy. I'm 200 and something pounds, and I'm very unhealthy. I have problems. But I here's the thing, because of streaming,
yeah?
I was 200 before I started streaming in 2020. I was weighing 260 pounds. Right now I weighed last time I weighed myself was 230.
Okay, well, if you need to lose weight, you're doing the right thing, obviously.
Walking and also trying to be and also, one of the things you gotta kick it out of your life a lot of times, you gotta kick sugar out of your life.
I
Or
know I
kick
have.
like
I have.
yeah,
I'm only like 132 now. That's my current weight, and I feel pretty good. And I'm 64. So
64.
64, yep. Well,
Yeah.
we're now down to the final 5 minutes of the show, by the way.
All right.
I hope you had fun talking to me.
All right. That is this has been a good show. I had a lot of fun doing this show, and I always, you know, this show's been awesome. By the way, we got to give a big shout out to ECAT for all the good stuff they do
That's
every
true.
day.
I agree. Don't forget Area 58 and
Area 58,
WCTV.
WCTV.
Yep. Okay.
Will this be on tomorrow? Will this be
We're
on
gonna edit
tomorrow?
this. No, not tomorrow. We're gonna edit it next Tuesday, and then when we edit it, then we'll be on. Then we'll get it. Then we'll get it on TV.
All
We'll
right.
get it on YouTube and everything. All right. Well, is there anything before we wrap the show up? I got to ask. Is there anything coming up in your life that you want to mention before we wrap it up?
The only thing that I'm doing right now is I'm trying to if you can follow me on Twitter at Hudson at HUSDON Jake, or you could also check me out on Twitch. I'm trying to stream back up on Twitch as twitch.tv/JakeHudson12. I'm usually Jake Hudson 12, Jake Hudson 1, or Jake Hudson. And if anyone wants to contact me through email, PLOWDAWG26@gmail.com.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And I had a lot of fun, and I'm gonna let you end your show.
All right. Thanks.
talk-
Will you do me one favor when we wrap it up? Will you stick around and let my tech guy take a picture for Facebook, and I'll tag you in it?
All right.
Okay. All right, folks. Another great show in the books. We're going to wrap it up. We're doing one show next week. I think we're going to South Dakota. So keep watching. We are flying all over the place and from Topic Time Nation. But tonight we're wrapping the show up. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Have a good one. Signing off. Rolling out.
Sorry, I can't do it. I can't snap like you.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. You're doing fine.